We hot.
And we're back in the studio.
The Lake View Studio.
Beautiful Smith Lake, Coleman, Alabama.
Green light's going down there.
Well, we figured out what the smell was.
Yes, we did. Especially when I got up the next morning. Saw
You
that
could
big
see
full
'em.
moon. Oh, I saw the big full moon.
So the brim is officially on bed.
Yeah, they should. Yeah, they are. I've started to buy some crickets today, and I forget every time I come by the store.
Whitlock still do some bait, or
Oh yeah. I assume they got crickets. I know they got minnows, and they used to carry goldfish.
a few years ago there was a shortage on crickets. I mean, you couldn't find them.
That's all the turkey hunters.
Yeah. Speaking of turkeys, I seen a hen with a bunch of poults today here in Alabama in Winston County.
That's great. My uncle. I told you my
Yeah.
uncle saw those with 7 or 8, or at least he counted that. He counted 7. He said they could have been more.
I don't even know if these count as poults yet. They're biddies. I'm talking about they were
still
small.
Still had the little fluffy stuff on them.
Yeah, real small.
Well, they should just about not. They just hatch.
Like when they hit that edge of that cutover, it was hard to see them. You could just see the ground moving. But I mean, they
Like
were
little
bit-
ants running around out there.
Yeah.
I hope they make it.
Tony had never seen any.
Oh, really?
He goes, "Them was all babies, wouldn't?" I said, "Yeah, them was all." He said, "Man, I hope they're doing it," because he's been having 2 in the back of his pasture. I said, "They're probably nesting back there.
Yeah.
There ain't nobody back there to bother them." So he's hoping he'll see some bigger poults walking around
I hope he does too. Gets a bunch of turkeys and lets you come over there and hunt.
anytime. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. One year he said he had a pretty good little flock living over there, and then when it got seasoned, they just moved off.
Well, who was telling me that today? I was talking to a guy in Montgomery, and he said the same thing happened to him. First off, he lost his property 2 weeks in the season. And then another piece of property he had, that just disappeared. Had it all over camera. I said, well, the same thing happened at my dad's house. We had 4 days before season, 3 big gobblers, a jakes, half a dozen to a dozen hens. I said, and then they're just gone.
Well,
Ain't seen nothing.
kind of what happened in Pickens County to us that year. Everybody that deer hunted down there is telling me, y'all need to go. And we went. We didn't cut a track. And they've been seeing, I think Roger said he had 20-something fly off the roost above him one morning at one time,
It must be what they're talking about. If they got their stuff they need in the winter and then they move somewhere in the spring where they're going to breed and eat and nest and, maybe come back after the little ones hatch and come back over there in the summer.
Them turkey had hen today. What they've done, them pine beetles in there. So you're going down the road and it's a section cut out and then a few woods, a patch of woods and a section. I mean, they just cut what they could to save the timber. And so you're going to see a lot of that because as we were riding around, I was looking at treetops and there's a lot of dead pines right now.
Oh, yeah.
I thought they kind of had that under control, but
Wouldn't hurt me if the whole blight hit them all and we had to go back and plant hardwoods.
Of
course, I'd be dead before they got big enough for me to hunt in them, but...
Well, I don't know timber companies, as bad as they want this wood and as little as they cut, I guess they'd probably just invest in some hybrids or something.
Maybe they would. We get some oaks that could grow in
Boy, wouldn't that be good?
10 or 12 years, be roosting trees.
I tell you what, Illinois knows what they're doing, though.
They do. They
Don't clear cut. They select cut.
I'm going to tell you, them boys in Montgomery need to go up there and visit and learn how to manage a forest. Because they sure... Man, I don't remember seeing anything that nice. Everywhere we went had been burned before, maybe this year or the year before that. They seemed like it's on a good rotation.
Mm-hmm. And then there was even that new logging operation, me and you seen, that wasn't getting clear cut. That was select cut as well. And that was on private.
That was on private. Sure was.
So they just do things different there. They're leaving a little green for tomorrow, as
That's
Alabama
right.
used to say.
Well, I feel it'd be different if they could grow real pine trees because, that's probably... But, so much of where we was all national forest.
Yeah.
And I know they manage and cut timber, but and there was some pines. I don't know what kind of pines they were. They were big ones too.
Yeah.
The turkeys was roosted in them.
That one hill, man, you went and hunted out that ridge. That place has some monster
pine trees. You can build a whole house out of one of them.
Straight, no limbs for 100 feet. Beautiful pines. Beautiful pines.
Well, if everybody hadn't figured out, we're talking about Illinois.
Southern Illinois. That's a little different than when I go to Chicago.
Tad.
They both in the same state, but that's daylight and dark.
Oh, whole different clientele.
Yeah.
Yeah, most of them people were when you're up in Chicago, the only time they use a gun is to kill somebody. They don't hunt with them.
No.
What'd you think of the old Southern Illinois going back?
Hope to make it
I think
an annual
I
trip.
hope we make it an annual trip. I told my brother, you need to pile up and go with us. What are you doing over there? Did you just touch something? We got somebody in the studio that's not going to say a whole lot. Oh, she's going to giggle. Go ahead, giggle. See there? Yeah. Who is? What's your name?
Graceland.
Graceland.
Yeah.
That's where Elvis lived.
L-Y-N, not land.
Oh,
You got a last name, Graceland?
Miller.
who's your daddy?
Sadly, the one that's on the podcast.
Sadly.
Sorry.
Wait a minute. Who pays your bills? Who feeds you? I thought you was a daddy's girl.
Yeah.
And it's sadly. Who changed the oil in your buggy the other day?
Me.
Who went and bought Ruby? Let's do it like
Who
that.
buys the gas for Ruby?
Who put the stereo in Ruby? Who put the roof on Ruby?
Come on.
And the windshield.
And the windshield. Well, you're adding to it
And
now.
it's sadly.
And the box.
Sadly. You should say, my wonderful father.
My wonderful father that's on the podcast.
That's a little better.
One of the two on the podcast.
And the other one is what? Even better.
Uncle Anthony.
One of the finest human beings you've ever met.
She's always, I'm going to go to Uncle Anthony's. How many times has she skipped out on us now?
I was looking so forward to this turkey season.
Oh,
Get
yeah.
to go youth hunting, maybe video, get to call, get to see somebody kill their first turkey again, because I love that. But no. Where were you, Graceland?
I don't know.
I do.
I do.
What time of the year was that?
Christmas.
No,
That was
it was
spring
not.
break.
Spring break.
Oh, spring
You was
break.
with
Where,
yeah.
where was you at?
Oh,
Mentone.
Oh, listen, you got your whole life to do that kind of crap. Get out here and hunt before I'm too old. He's a lot younger.
and let's see,
I ain't got but a year or two left. I won't be able to do it no more.
and let's see if you like it before I have to start buying hunting license.
Yeah, and guns.
Yeah. Well, we got plenty of them. She'll
No,
be fine.
I'm just telling you, if she really started liking it, she'd want her own customized shotgun, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
You got to talk louder than that.
She'll get that.
Anything to spend money.
There you go. You bling it out too, I bet.
Yeah, bedazzles everywhere.
Bedazzle. You need to see what Rebecca's doing before we leave.
Why?
I don't know what it's called.
Is it like sticky and then they put
It's almost like paint by number, but it's those little glittery things.
yeah.
Yeah.
Is that
gems?
bedazzle?
Yeah, there's like a sticky pad,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
it has like little dots where the gems.
She's
look
down
at.
there with a light under, and it's just
I
ridiculous.
seen one like that the other day, and it's got the pad
I wish
full
you
of them, and
paid
you roll across it, and you say get 4 of them.
Yeah.
Then you go to the little pad and you roll them 4 out.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's something like that. Yeah.
you know at the
If we get done early enough, we'll walk down there. You can see what she's doing. She's doing a cow right now.
Cool.
at the vet they have like a picture of like a whole bunch of animals all in one, like the
And
one.
it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Well, she was
It's
doing these that
full
look
of
like
diamonds.
coasters. Put a magnet on and stuck them all over the refrigerator. I said, I hope the house don't turn into this. I
Well-
wish she paid as much attention to me as she does that kind of stuff.
Well, right now she's bedazzling and she's getting flooring. That's all she's worried about, so flooring right now.
You know what? I've heard about that flooring since we moved in 5 years ago.
You know the best part about that flooring? We're gonna be
We're
gone.
gonna be gone. I don't have to put it down. It's just
You
like
ain't
that.
got to move anything.
What's that board she bought? Sitting in my bedroom.
Oh, the shiplap. She's wanting it
Shiplap. She's been
downstairs.
wanting to put up.
We'll try to do that after turkey season. It wouldn't take us a half a day.
Oh, don't say that on the podcast. She might hear it.
Yeah.
We ain't even got the roof done. That wouldn't take an hour.
Well, but the thing is, we need to keep them happy so we can travel more next year. We add a little bit each year.
See, unlike you, I don't care if she's happy or not if I go hunting. We have an agreement. I bet, and you best, one of these days when you get married, you look at your husband and say, honey, just go have a good time. That's what you say. I'll be here, and the house will be clean.
I'll probably be going hunting with him.
No, you won't.
I won't.
No, you won't even go hunting with us. You won't even squirrel hunt.
Well, Dad don't really go anymore. He bought all
He's
the
gone
dogs
all
for
winter
nothing.
long. I'd have come got you. I hunted. I wanted somebody to go hunt with me.
I'm just a phone call away.
No, you're never at home. Just a phone call away.
She makes it sound good.
I know. It sounds wonderful.
She's growing into a good young lady right now by already talking that crap.
Yeah,
She says what you want to hear.
exactly. Well, Grace, before we get too deep into this, tell us a little about yourself. How old are you?
14, just turned 14.
14. And you'll be what grade?
I'm going into 9th.
Freshman.
Yep.
How many boyfriends you got?
1.
1. She said that in front of her daddy, too. And she kind of looks away, like flinches, like she's going to get hit when she says that.
You never know. I mean, there's a glass window right beside us.
I know.
So what happens this Friday? Or what happens tomorrow?
It's my last day of school.
And what else?
Volleyball tryouts.
Volleyball tryouts.
I tell you, I love when she plays volleyball. They give it all they got. Leave it. They don't leave anything on the court. I mean, they do it all there. You know, it and the Women's World Series college softball. And those two things I really like to watch anymore. Gave up on football because it just ain't football anymore. And I don't watch baseball.
Nick Saban and President Trump's fixing to take care of that. I'm going to tell you right now.
You think so?
He said he's going to do an executive order and stop it.
That'd be awesome.
I know it.
It may cost him.
Prima donna,
But
18
he can't run again anyway.
Well, he's a lame duck. Do what you want, baby.
Yeah.
Did you see all them Arabs flaunting all over him? Gave him a dang 747 or whatever it is. How much that thing? $700 million or something like that. Oh, they're all going crazy. He knows how to play people, though.
Yeah.
Well, all right, let's move back to what we've
went down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, we went down this rabbit hole.
Long introduction.
But yeah, we thought we'd come just give you a little recap. Actually, it'll probably be a long recap, but of our trip to Southern Illinois, which was very fruitful, I think. Not just that we were successful, but we learned a lot. We saw a lot of country. And I wish I don't wish I lived up there by no means, because they only got a 2-turkey limit. Well, 1-turkey limit.
Unless you get lucky enough to buy another
Well,
tag.
yeah, you can get another tag or another
do
county.
another segment or...
You know, what if you had applied for 2 different counties? Can you do that? We're going to research more of that.
We'll research it, because I know when me and you signed up for 5th segment, it asked for what county, but you could also put in a
alternate.
Yeah, alternate. But I don't know if you can just go ahead and put in. I want this.
Well, I just wonder if you, and we'll get into why we were talking to the people at the marina.
Yeah.
but they said they had extra tags that had sold out.
Right.
So if we said we got drawn, could we ride up there and buy an extra tag?
I think so.
That's what we need to do.
Yeah.
Because we could have filled an extra tag this year.
Yeah.
Probably. The way things were gobbling when we
on the
walked
last
out
day.
there. Yeah. On that. So anyway, I don't know really where to begin. We pulled out of here,
Thursday
morning.
Yeah. And drove through rain and wrecks.
and wrecks in Nashville, that hellhole. And
that was Indiana when they had all the flats. It wasn't Illinois. It was,
No. It was.
Was it Illinois?
Well,
maybe when we went to Indiana is when we seen all the.
Maybe it was.
There were flat tires everywhere, but.
Yeah. We got through Nashville fairly good.
Yeah.
Other than that construction spot.
Yeah.
Where no construction's going on yet, but everybody stopped.
The Saturn Parkway or whatever it is.
So, but we arrive and visit with our buddies at Legacy that afternoon. I'm thinking, we might go out and scout and do some stuff, but we got to talking about our hunting license, what all we need, which I'm glad we brought that up.
I had read that little book.
Yeah, it was in the hotel room, and it said something about your turkey tag permit leg tag or something. And I said, I didn't get no leg tag. And you said, well, I didn't get no leg tag.
And this is our first time.
Yeah, I've never been up there. I mean, I had bow hunted up there years ago, and I got a tag to go around the antler.
Right.
And, I thought maybe Illinois had come into the 21st century. But
we should have known not. They don't have an app.
No. Wait, they got an app. But when you click on it, it just carries you to their website. Right. It's really a link.
It's a link.
So, what are you doing over there? Don't you know everything you touch makes a noise?
I'm so sorry.
That little whimpery voice ain't going to save you. Talk like you do normally.
Okay.
Yeah, see? But anyway, we're talking to Roger and William of Legacy Game Calls, and I think it was Roger said, yeah, you got to have that tag. That's your permit.
And then William pulled out his wife's tag, and he's like,
he said, you didn't get one of these? I went, no. Well, you can't hunt without one. And I'm thinking, oh, crap. We're 5 hours from home, and I didn't remember seeing one. And so there was a marina they told us about that closed at like 4:30.
And it was 4 o'clock.
It was 4 o'clock, and we were at least 20 minutes from there. So we had to say adios and book out of there, and went and found the marina. Very nice people. Super nice.
Great help. Very helpful.
Well, there wasn't much help on the tags. They didn't have none, but they put us in contact with the game warden, which generally in my life, I don't even like to let game wardens know I'm here, who I am, much less where I am.
And within 10 minutes, everybody knew our name.
Yeah, we got popular. But the first one, well, you can tell the story because they called you back. And a different guy called you back. What was his name?
James.
James.
Yeah.
Very nice guy. You had him on speaker. I guess I would have talked to him if you hadn't. You got a shower or something when we come back. I don't know. Maybe it was more in the shower. You was in the bathroom anyway. You may have been relieving yourself. I'm not sure. Anyway, you did all the talking. I just nodded and
Well,
I was over there praying in the corner.
I just tried to explain to him what had happened. And, this is our first year. Neither one of us, if we did, we didn't see it. Neither one of us had a tag. And we had already done a little bit of research on our own that if you needed one, you had to write.
Yeah, you had to
do it
write
by mail,
or
or go to Springfield, Illinois
Yeah.
at 8 a.m. the next morning, which was 3.5 hours away for us to go. And you could go in there and they would print you a new tag off. And I tried to explain to him where we was from, what we, the whole deal.
I think once he heard we was from Alabama, he'd understood everything.
Yeah. And he was really cool about it. Basically, he thanked us for contacting them and make them aware
Being
of the situation.
proactive in the situation,
right.
yeah.
And basically, I think that really helped us out and sealed the deal. And he told us that he looked our stuff up on the computer.
Amazingly, it's all on the computer.
Mm-hmm. He already knew. I didn't even know our tag numbers, but he did. He said, well, yours is 215, blah, blah, blah. And then we got online and could see our tag number. And basically, he told us to make our own tags.
Yes. So we Fred Flintstone some tags. SpongeBob.
We took us some.
We went to Dollar General.
Yep. And
looked for index cards. They didn't have none.
Yeah, it was the end of the school. I figured people was using them for flashcards.
Yeah.
So they were out. And we got a little yellow legal pad and cut it out. And you had some of those little business card laminators. And we just made our own little tag.
We
and
kept that tag and our hunting license.
Put a zip tie in our pocket to wrap it around the bird's leg. And I told him, I said, if we kill or whatever, that I'd call him or text. He said text me preferably because I don't have any phone service just like you guys.
Yeah, phone service was definitely spotty at best. And he did say if a different game warden checked us and he didn't know about it, he was going to let whoever around there know, but to call him and he would explain that he had already worked it out with us and that he wanted us to have an enjoyable experience, which I found refreshing.
And he warned us of the late season, the vegetation, the ticks, chiggers, and the heat.
And we didn't have no heat.
No, we needed a heater.
That.
Yeah.
He missed that. I think you experienced the chiggers.
Well, I experienced one or two, but I experienced poison oak. But it was crazy. Just one or two little spots. Like I never broke out all over, just a couple little spots.
Barely brushed you.
Yeah, it was probably when I was in nature,
being like a bear?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. You'll know one day.
I had to
just sit there quietly.
Sometimes when you're in nature hunting like that, you have to take a squatty potty in the woods.
You got to be like Sasquatch. You just have to hunker down.
Go for it.
Go for it.
It's a natural thing.
Leave a landmine. But that's where maybe a chigger or poison oak came from, probably. Because I didn't. Knock on wood, and I'm going to. Y'all hear that? No chiggers, no ticks.
Yeah.
And so far this season, no chiggers, no ticks.
I don't think I got any ticks off of me up there.
I have not got a tick on me so far this year. Now, grant you, I hadn't been, other than really the most woods I went were up there in Indiana. We were in the woods.
Well, that day that we hunted the big hardwoods in Tennessee, I had one coming at my leg and thumped it off.
That's right.
It never got on me.
There's a lot of ticks in Tennessee.
Especially that little spot there. The leaves are real thick. And
they suck, don't
hardwoods.
they?
Yeah.
Ticks. Well, Tennessee too, but
just
I'm talking about the football team. Yeah. Nothing sucks like a big orange. But so far, nothing now. Our trip next week, I don't know what'll happen. I know there'll be mosquitoes.
I've got the thermocell loaded and extra cartridges.
Well, you better.
Yeah.
If it's anything like where I used to fish, it'll be bad. But he told me, and I know we're jumping off subject, but he said that they have a lot of different terrain, so we should be able to move easy.
Good.
So, I've been looking at a lot of ag, but there is a lot of
Could be
of
drainage
wooded areas
ditches
that- yeah. Mm-hmm.
too to kind of move in. But
So that'll be interesting. But anyway, we get up there. We weren't put to work that first day, were we? Mm-hmm. Was we?
after we got done
We
with all
came
that
back.
stuff, we went back and we started digging holes.
Oh, that's right.
No, actually, we started stringing it out and digging holes.
Yeah, we squared it up, stretched a string. I don't know how to explain this, but it was basically in a swamp.
Yeah, we were.
I mean, it was swamp. Everybody has to understand that it had been raining up there for like a week solid or whatever.
And
I
in
mean,
one day,
they how many inches?
11 inches.
11 inches in one day. So this area that the deck was going in was flooded. I mean, when I say flooded, it was ankle deep in water and that much deeper in muck.
Small fish could have been swimming
Yes, they
around in
could
there.
have. Well,
And lived.
crawfish were popping up in the front yard.
Yeah.
So we're told about these 7 6x6s holes that needed to be dug
And 9 4x4s.
and 9 4x4s. So we
in the muck.
and this was like gray clay. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't dirt by no means. It was clay.
There was water, and then you start digging, and water
You
would
had to
go.
beat it off the post hole diggers.
Yeah.
I thought about going to see if I could rent a tractor with a
Auger.
auger. I don't know if it could have done anything in that crap. But the hole would be full of water by the time you got it
How
dug.
deep it was.
It was terrible. And I was looking so forward, and you can tell me if you did too, but we were so wondering what are we going to do? Cutoff time's 1 o'clock in Illinois, public and private.
We had big plans.
Well, I mean, yeah, we're going to go have a little lunch, grab us a little nap,
Golden Girls.
watch the little Golden Girls while I went to sleep, nap, get the maybe hop back out in the truck 4 or 5 o'clock, ride around, look, maybe try to do a
Scout.
little hooting, maybe try to roost one. But no, that's not what happened. We did go eat and we did take a little nap, but then the phone rang.
It's time to go to work.
What was it? Where y'all at? If you come over here, we'll tell you a couple spots to go hunting.
And we'll feed you.
And that
did
was a plan. But you know what? We
Which-
needed to eat. I don't know if everything would have been closed by the time we left. We worked till dark.
We eat some pretty good meals.
Oh, Tanya can cook.
Yeah, she's a great cook.
So,
The best thing about her menu is it was a menu to feed a bunch of hungry people.
yeah,
It
everything was perfect.
chili, spaghetti, baked
hot
spaghetti was really
dogs.
good. Yeah.
It was all good.
Homemade chili for the chili
Yeah.
dogs.
So, day one, we come in, find out we don't have everything we're supposed to have, meet a real nice game warden, get put to work. Next morning, we're told, come back, and we'll tell you that spot. I'm feeling played a little bit by then. So we're told a spot, and we roll up, and
The icy hot all over us because it was hurting so bad.
well, yeah, I mean, I
And post
need some being gay.
and post-toe diggers wore us out.
Being gay. Ha ha ha. Okay, you didn't say nothing.
That's
All
because
right.
her boyfriend's name's Ben.
Oh, that's right. I'm going to leave it there. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. I forgot about that. Oh. All right. Well, anyway, but as we roll up to where we're supposed to park, we're late.
I'd have flashbacks of the bank cat.
Had sinking feeling when we pulled up because we're already late. It's already light.
And we've
Getting-
never been there.
Never been nowhere up there. And there's a truck parked right where we're told to park. So in panic mode, we ease on down the road and stop and dig out the Onyx. What are we going to do? Where are we going to go? I don't know. How many acres do you think that block was? It was big, wasn't it? A couple thousand or better. So we decided we'd turn around and we just went back to the other opposite end, probably nearly a mile down the road. I wouldn't know if it's quite that far, but
And the opposite side of the
opposite
road.
side of the road, and we got out and hooted and crow called and walked and hooted and crow called and walked some more.
We thought we had a real good plan anyway.
I mean, we followed what we thought we was going to do. We showed up right in the corner of the property where we was going to, but nothing, not a sound,
Didn't see
one
you.
deer,
One deer.
one deer.
Yep.
Not that we didn't see 200 on the drive to Williams' house that morning. Them jokers lay in a ditch and just raise their head up and look at you. They wouldn't even get up and move. But so we get back to the truck. I'm going, what is that, 11-ish, I guess? 12, 11.
Somewhere in there. I mean, we end up loading up, going down to that other spot. We hunted there. That kind of finished us out to 1 o'clock.
Was that open fields area thing?
Yeah, the burn off.
Okay,
area.
so maybe it was a little earlier than that. Because we come back, as we drove out, those guys were still in there. And then we went over there, saw a hen.
Hen track.
Hen tracks.
Yep.
And then came back. Yeah, we were back in order of food about 12ish because it took an hour. I remember.
It started raining pretty hard, and we were riding around looking at some fields and some different land, just trying to see what we seen.
So we get back and finally get our food, which was terrible, I have to say.
If she wouldn't have gave us that roll, we
she
wouldn't
gave
have
us
left.
east roll. I got up and left, I think. But I mean, they redeemed themselves before we left. But
yeah.
Anyway, we went back and took a little nap. Good nap.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a good nap.
Then what happened?
Phone rang. Where y'all at?
Second shift.
Y'all back?
Come on, boys.
Y'all had lunch yet? If y'all come over here and help, we'll give you a couple more spots you might go try. And then we did. We go over, work like indentured servants again till dark, have a good dinner.
Yeah, it was about 9:30 time we left there.
Didn't give us no spot, so nothing.
Mm-mm.
No, just if somebody's parked over there tomorrow, call me.
Yep.
Then I'll give you spots. I'm thinking, well, that kind of was the deal I was thinking.
And it was kind of hard because he don't use Onyx.
No, he
uses Hunt Stand.
Hunt Stand. Roger used Onyx, but I don't think he
I
had.
noticed
He
before
just
we-
had his own one state, Georgia. I think.
Well, I
on it.
noticed before we left, he had turned Illinois on.
Did he?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, good. So that was day one in the books. Day two, we have done made up our mind though. We was getting up early. I guess day three of hunting, or day three of being there, day two of hunting.
Yeah.
So we're going to get there early, which is no problem for me. I get up anyway. You'd have to get up a few minutes early.
I just needed a time.
You just needed a time.
I need a departure time.
We were up. I had drank coffee. You didn't drink no coffee that morning.
Mm-mm.
And anyway, my phone was buzzing. If anybody heard that, but anyway, we're sitting there. What time? It was way dark.
It was about 4:30.
We there
Yeah.
at 4:30 because they don't even get good light till nearly 6, quarter
Yeah.
till anyway.
Mm-hmm. And it was overcast.
And it was overcast and drizzly, and headlights come down the road. Same old boys, but this time their parking spot was took.
And they did the same thing we did.
I know the panic they felt.
They went to the same exact spot,
They
hit the
pulled
brakes.
down the road exactly where we was and stopped, and I guarantee you they pulled out their Onyx or Hunt Stand or a map or whatever they had. And like, oh crap, where are we gonna go? But they eventually turned around and went on out. But like we talked about that, it was a good sign they came back because apparently there was something in there. Maybe we thought good chance that you don't come back to somewhere you ain't hearing or seeing nothing,
Right.
not unless you really know there's something. It's just a bad day. So we hop out, ease down through there. How far did we go? Well, I mean, it's slick. Boy, that's some of the slickest mud I've ever been in my life. Just to be mud.
That's the day we made the big loop
Yeah,
on the trail.
Yeah, you go ahead because you made fun of me anyway there toward the end of the hunt. But
Oh.
yeah, but so we get out and we don't know the property.
No, we're just looking at
So
Onyx.
there's for all practical purposes, it was really like a 4-wheeler trail, but it was a fire break.
Shows a fire break.
Said it was fire break, but people have been riding in and out. And that thing dropped off down the hill.
By the cool old cemetery.
Oh,
and
man, wasn't that a cool cemetery?
Yeah.
I got pictures of that. I'll make sure I post some now. that
Whales
We're talking about it.
and-
Oh, yeah, big old whale. And there's
Two-
a couple.
we seen two of those.
whales, and I think a little old water hole of some kind I seen.
Yeah, yeah.
And it'd have been no telling. When I'm standing there looking at that kind of stuff, I'm always thinking like, man, where do these people live? They live somewhere close.
Yeah, what was here?
If you're standing by a well, there was a house pretty close.
And that was a Stat Rock well.
It was a pretty well.
Yeah, so, I mean, we know there was probably, I guess it was a family cemetery or something. Probably a couple different little families living there.
them things were way back in the 1800s. I mean,
It was cool.
it was real cool, but it was a walk.
Oh, yeah. And it got more walk. We kept on going.
We kept on and kept on.
That's when we got in the bluffs, and that was real
well,
pretty down
we
there.
went off down that hill, across that creek,
Mm-hmm.
and
Well,
did we hear the turkey gobble down there?
No, before we crossed the creek, we went up the up at one spot that we could go up and got in some big hardwoods and sat down just in these open, pretty hardwoods just to kind of take a break, drink a little water, and relax. And made a few calls.
Yeah.
And a bird gobble. And we got back on Onyx trying to figure out how to get around to him. And we figured the best bet would be to go back
down. And then
we crossed that creek and got into that real rocky area.
Yeah, because that corner, that private cornered in there, and we had to go around it.
Right.
Instead of through it.
And then we got down to those bluffs and was trying to figure out what's our best route. But we did find a good spot.
It wasn't bad.
And it was kind of thick and you couldn't see. I didn't know how far up we was going, but we probably didn't go up 60, 75 yards, and we was back up on top. But it was
right
beautiful in
top.
there.
Man, it was
kind of too thick for turkeys, but it was beautiful in there. Well, I say that. I think they come through whatever they want to come through.
I do too.
But been some good nesting area in there anyway, the way it was. Had some briars and...
But we finally found a place set up.
Got a beautiful spot set up.
Set up and...
Got to use our little trimmers that we carry everywhere.
Oh, yeah. Trimmed out the places. Carried our little Nightingale chairs in there with us. They're very comfortable. It's becoming my favorite right now because of just how easy it is to carry compared to our old Toms. I love the old Tom, but
yeah,
boy, it's heavy.
And they
the
old Toms set up a little bit higher too, but they sure are comfortable with all the back support and all that good stuff. But anyway, another rabbit hole.
So you'll have to refresh me then. We sat there and that turkey gobbled.
And we moved around on him and set back up. We're at the new spot.
We're at the new spot. Yeah, we went all the way around, set up. It was quiet there for a little bit.
Made a few calls, though.
But then he gobbled and got kind of fired up there for a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, we kind of felt like there's two of them.
Yeah. I mean, you could hear you could kind of hear the different gobbles in them. You know.
So we figured, hey, we might get lucky, get a double out of this. But it went back.
And that's the first gobbles we had heard that day.
That day. So we got set and set and set and set. What was it?
They fired up for 30 good minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Then
When they got hot, they were hot.
And just went silent.
And then they went cold. They was like your wife getting a headache. They just went cold.
We kind of felt like maybe they had drifted and went back across from the way we originally heard them.
So we're watching the radar because it's supposed to start raining. And
they would gobble to a crow pretty good.
Let me tell you about my crow call. It's the wind talker. And what'd you say? Break out that crow call.
Yeah.
Blow on that crow call.
We're trying to get them fired back off.
I wish y'all could see this. I break out this high-dollar crow call of mine, ease it up to my lips, and this is the sound it made. It sounded like a deer blowing. And he's laughing. I'm going, what's wrong with this thing?
We think there's some lean up in it or something.
I had blew this thing in this room, went outside, called crows up with it.
You blew it in Tennessee.
I blew it in Tennessee, but I'm looking up at the sky and trying to see if there's a bug down in there, and nothing. I blew it again. It's truly a wind talker because I was talking to some wind. He's still rolling over there, so I'm already mad. I'm getting mad. I finally figure out how to pop that thing apart, and it ain't set up like a grunt call with an O-ring or anything holding nothing in place. It's just there, and it's got little notches that it sits in. And I put it back together, and I get mad, and I just throw it to you, and you take it apart. You screwed with it. You hand it back to me. Then it sounded like a fawn bleat. By then, I'm ready to throw it off the hill. But I spent so much money on this thing. It wasn't a cheap call.
No.
And so just put it away for the time being. I'm going to switch back to my old faithful, my Preston Pittman crow call that I've had for 25 years. Guess what? It'll still make a crow sound.
And when we got to the truck, you made good on that promise. Before we even moved, you stuck it in the vest.
But we had a little more excitement before we got to the truck.
Oh,
somebody's sitting there going, that rain's going to be here. I think we should leave at 10:30 and start back. Because we knew it was over a mile walk through the woods, regardless of whether we tried this new way we talked about, or we knew it'd be over a mile and a half nearly if we went back off that hill.
It was almost 2 miles that way.
So I said, well, if we're going to do that, we're going to cut this corner. So when we cut the corner, I said, Now I wasn't going to hunt. Now nobody think I was, because I wasn't. It would have been tempting, but I wouldn't. I said I'm gonna ease out here. Those turkeys just stayed around the point from us, way out. I said I'm gonna ease up here and see where those turkeys are across that field, because I figured, like you did, they hadn't made a sound, that they had done eased back off and went off down and probably all the way across that ag field back.
I think
in
had
that
just
bottom.
like a lot of low spots and
Yeah,
humps.
yeah, it was
hump and a low spot.
So I'm sneaking, not because I'm on some on property I shouldn't have been on, because like I said, I wasn't playing. I was just trying to glass, had my binoculars and was going to glass, and something attacked me. I had no clue that these farmers were so smart, and they booby trapped their property line with old barbed wire. This thing, it wasn't like I just walked up and caught barbed wire. This thing was a loop. That thing wrapped around my leg like an anaconda.
And it was old, good barbed wire.
Oh, my God. And I couldn't move, and it kept getting tighter on me. I was trying to move my leg, and all that noise I was making, all of a sudden, I guess it sounded like turkeys in the woods or something. I kind of look over my shoulder, and you're rolling, laughing at that. But all of a sudden, what happened? He fired off.
And he was close.
Oh, he was close enough, especially after where we saw him at and kind of measuring that distance with Onyx. He was in gun range.
Yeah.
For TSS. But I'm being attacked, and it wasn't getting no better. I'm on the ground now trying to lay down and move this barbed wire off of me, because I didn't want turkeys to see me. You're over there laughing, not helping me at all. If I'd have fell in a well, you'd probably left me down at the bottom laughing all the way back to the truck. So I'm over there. I don't know. It took 2 or 3 minutes to get that thing unwrapped the whole time, man.
I think them rain pants, when you was trying to get out, it sounded like wings.
I think something, I mean, and it didn't fire just him up. It fired his buddy up. That's when we knew
there was two. Yeah.
Couldn't see the old buddy coming. I finally got untangled and got out of the booby trap and got up. I was lucky I was right there by a tree.
Monster tree. It was perfect.
And I eased up, and there he was. He was blowed up out there strutting, and he would come out strut and gobble. And I look back, and you can't see nothing. And I'm telling you, there's a little ditch right there.
Yeah.
Road bed or something. I don't know. But you had a perfect way to ease up. You pulled up on another tree.
I could see him when I was to your right through a little old gap. I could stand up. It was so thick. I could see him through a gap. But then when I went down that road bed and popped up and got behind that big tree, we could see him. I mean, I took a great video of it.
Yeah, that's the video we posted.
Yeah.
So.
And the other bird's still out on point. Neither one of us
couldn't see him. He was still
He's
around.
hammered.
He's wearing it out. And our bird that we could see, he finally turns and starts back toward that other bird. And you said they're going back the other way.
Mm-hmm.
The other way was where we were sitting,
where they had heard that.
Where they'd heard that hen all morning long, and that crow call. I'm sure that's what really set them off.
Probably.
So I said, we got to get back. And man, we turn and burn, but
they were out on that point.
They had 1/10 of the distance to make that we had to make.
They had like 10 feet on that point. Me and you had like
100 yards.
100 yards in the back. It was that wide. That point.
I mean, it's plenty thick to get over there.
And we were kind of down low.
But where we had to sit up to call them down to us.
To get back into our spot, it was.
And so all we could do is stand there hid and watch the turkeys walk down there looking for those hens. Walk down there and could have been shot. Could have had a double. It ain't even 11 o'clock yet, people. We stood over there. Well, it might have been 11 o'clock because we got up at about 10:30 and went over there, and I was tangled up and all that. But they piddled around there for a good 10, 15 minutes or whatever. We stood and watched them. Then they went back up to the top of the hill in the ag field, and I saw him stretch. All I could see was the top of his head, the tips of his wings when he stretched out like, I think it was shooting us a feather bird. I'm not sure.
Well, you called that one time, and he, I had a good view of him, and he blowed up. I mean, I thought, well, here he comes. I mean, we was bumping safeties at that point because I thought he was going to come back, but
he didn't.
He didn't have nothing he could see down there either.
No. He saw nothing. They'd already been kind of looking that way. They'd been hearing us forever that morning after we got set up.
And we're in the fifth segment of Illinois. We don't know who all's messed with these birds or whatever, so we don't know how clever they is. But anyway, it was like
over the hill they went. And what happened? I said, they're done. They're done. We're done, really, because they're done. And we sat, for another 15 minutes or so.
Mm-hmm.
And
making sure they wasn't trying to circle.
He gobbled again, sounded like he's in another county.
Yeah.
I mean, he had done made a good half a mile away from us. So we knew that was done. And it's getting later in the day, and we decided to stay on the top side this time, which turned out to actually be, that was the best move we made all week as far as how to get in and out of that place.
It was a good.
It was flat.
And it was thick. I
Thick.
mean, like, we had perfect cover.
You could ease down that fence line. If there had been birds over there on the private land, you wouldn't have spooked them.
Right.
And stop and call every now and then. You might got a gobble. You could have set up.
And there were some nice spots where you could pop up in glass. And
well, and when I say fence, the fence was down.
For the
biggest part, the fence was on the ground, so there would have been nothing obstructing the birds from coming on in there. And most of it was open because it had been burned, and there was trees to set up on. And we'd go 100 yards or so, and I'd ease up and kind of look down, across the field and get back, just see if there's any birds or whatever. But that day we worked our way all the way back. And what did we do? We cut back and ate lunch. No, we make bologna sandwiches that day, didn't we?
We ate at the room.
We ate at the room and took a little nap.
And then what happened?
Phone rang.
Second shift crew, come on.
Hey, where y'all at? Y'all back? Come on over. Need some help. Got 7 more holes to dig. We'll be over here in a little bit. And I say that, I'm just joking around. I mean, we had a great time over there, but we did work our butts off. Everybody did. I'm not, and because just getting those posts, setting that band up was a job.
Yeah.
So we go over there, and
on our way over though, we stopped at that little ice cream joint. We won't say no name of it. We got us some ice cream.
Yes,
we thought we'd fire a little time and get some ice cream, but. We did talk to a guy that was super helpful.
Right. That's the day.
Yeah.
We were talking to him, and he said what we were doing. And I said, you need to tell us where we can find some turkeys. And by God, he did.
He got his phone. He said, y'all got on it? Yeah. He said, let me borrow your phone.
He just right over here go to this road. I see him out there. I don't think he was a turkey hunter.
No, he said he lived over that way somewhere.
He said, I see him crossing the roads over in there in the fields all the time. And by George, when did we go through there? Because it was like...
We didn't that day.
That day we went on.
Straight
we had to go to work.
Yeah.
So we was already late.
Yeah, we didn't get
clocked
docked.
in. Yeah.
Get docked.
So we... Anyway, he was right. We'll probably get to that later. But so we worked till dark again, have dinner.
Drag home, pressure wash the mud off of you.
Oh, man. That working till 8 o'clock at 8 and not getting back at 9, trying to shower, getting to bed, talk to the wives. And
we're not really mentioning that it's raining on and off.
Oh, it hadn't stopped raining. No, it rained every day. I wore my rain jacket and suit in at least twice, and then it sprinkled and rained every day and got damp.
The next day.
So the next day it's pouring. We get up, we're still getting up early because we're going to get to our spot, and we back in, and I'm talking about it's raining.
Till 5:50.
Yeah.
It poured.
And we're watching the radar. It'll be out of here.
Like, can't see the front of the truck. Pour.
No, it was raining. It was raining way hard. I'm thinking, first off, them birds ain't coming out of them trees right now. It's raining too hard. And then what was it, about 10 after 6? Or was it after 6?
We was walking at 10 after 6.
We finally, and it was still a little drizzly.
Yeah.
But it was enough. But apparently it was enough that them birds come on down.
Yeah.
Because I'm watching my feet now because I done been tangled up in the booby trap barbed wire. I know there ain't none there, but I'm looking at the ground when I walk. And what is that? Is that an airplane?
Like a helicopter.
Oh, I think a helicopter flew over us last time we was doing one. But, yeah, that is a helicopter. At first I thought I was having a stroke. My age, you can never tell. But we're walking and you go, I see birds. And I said, where?
It was still pretty dark.
It was dark, yeah. I mean, you said out in that field and probably 100, 150 yards from where we was, I'm trying to study and see, and yeah, I see black dots. It's turkeys. And I don't know what to do, really. We was going to try to ease up there and try to see if there's any gobblers and maybe get set up and call them into us. And we got up there where we could see. I had my binoculars out.
Yeah.
By George, there's 2 longbeards.
We got to see a show.
2 longbeards, what, a jake or 2? A bunch of hens.
Yeah.
They're blowed up.
Doing their thing.
Oh, man. And we're trying to figure out how to set up, but they're already kind of turning away from us and drifting further and further out in that big old ag field. It hadn't been plowed yet. It hadn't been planted because it's too wet.
Yeah.
I think if we'd have walked across it, we might have been stuck in it like quicksand.
Been head high.
I've been up to my chin in Illinois fields. What in the world was that?
My fingernail scratching the side of it. My ear itched.
Your ear itched.
Yeah. You itched your ear earlier.
Yeah, but I didn't go.
I know,
Whatever
I
it
don't like
was.
the sound.
We thought there was a catfish. on
Yeah, I
there.
wasn't sure. Yeah, that's what it sounded like. Go ahead.
But
I don't know. You've been sitting over there quiet, and all of a sudden you just come right on in.
I've been playing my game.
Oh, okay.
She's all into our Illinois trip.
I know. I could tell she's excited.
She
If
could
she
be-
turkey hunted, she could have been with us.
Yeah.
Y'all
Yeah.
wouldn't have took me.
Taking you?
Take it.
We would have.
us.
We would have.
We would have.
Whenever y'all go to Hawaii, hit me up.
No, you're not going on that trip. No.
Yes. I want to do like the.
I want to say, yeah, you can go, Grace. You can go with us, Grace. You can. No, you go on up to your buddy's house. We'll be back a couple of weeks.
I would not forgive y'all for that.
We're going to wait till you're in college, and then we're going to do that. You'll be able to go.
You won't. You're gonna be super old by then.
Oh, I've done been questioned today. How much longer do you think Anthony's going to be able to turkey hunt with you?
Who? How about her?
You know what I told her? I said, I at least hope another 10 years.
How long do you think I can turkey hunt with him?
She was saying 5.
5?
You always talk about how old you are.
He just turned 60.
I'm just 60.
60?
Yeah.
I thought he was 70. I mean, Nan.
Sweet baby Jesus.
Well, Nan looks pretty young for her age. Nan's like 73, 74. Yeah.
You thought I was old as your nan?
I mean, you got some gray hair.
No, it's white. It ain't gray. It ain't even gray. It's white.
He has to wear orange.
But it's
during
been
deer
that way
season.
for the last 20 years. So.
You know, definitely need orange during deer season.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. They think I'm flagging going into.
They don't cure here.
And you better keep it covered up during turkey season because it stands out like a sore thumb. The turkeys see that old white head. Man, somebody might think I'm a white head and blow it off. So now that you've insulted me and hurt me deeply,
Sorry.
And messed our.
our whole story.
I mean, we were moving.
We're moving
Finally
along. I
into
mean,
it.
we're getting into the meat of the hunt now.
Yes.
Turkeys drift away. Just shut up and go back to your game or whatever you're doing over there.
We slowly drift with them.
We
kinda.
drifted. We kind of
Just
worked
a
the
long
top of the
ways away.
hill. We're back on our trail, which wasn't hard to follow because we started to stomp down some of that fresh growth. We would follow out of sight and then ease up and look. And they're on the other side of the field. They're down there doing their thing, strutting, and the hens are feeding around. And now they're probably, what do you think, 400 yards, 500
Oh,
yards?
yeah.
Across through there. I mean, you could only watch them through binoculars. And then they'd move a little bit and we'd move on down. And we did that all the way, about 3/4 of the way down through there. And we decided we're going to set up in the Pretty Woods. And maybe they would come up because there's a big, long, finger come up through there.
Or
And it looked like-
draw coming to us.
yeah, I figured they might walk that around that draw, and they come around that draw and heard those sweet sounds of that we could put out. They may come on over to us, and of course they didn't. But
Well, they did. It's just the wrong group
yeah, I
of birds.
know. I mean, all of a sudden we see birds. Oh, Jake's.
Jake.
We thought there's 4, and then all of a sudden there's 5, and them jokers came right to us. We
Yeah.
could have shot every one of them.
It would have been over if it had been Tom's.
Oh man, we could have worked all day on that day.
But we did play with them for a while, and it was
yeah,
fun.
yeah, that was fun. Mess around with them, and they weren't very aggressive.
No.
You know,
I'm afraid if we'd have had a Tom decoy, though, they might have
think
come
they
up
have,
there
yeah,
and flogged
yeah.
him.
I mean, they just didn't pay much attention to
and
that
them was
hen.
some big old Jakes. Mm-hmm. They wouldn't know babies.
So that's kind of. Did we go anywhere else? We kind of
I would
finished
like
up in
to-
there, didn't we?
Yeah, but I'd like to add something to that
Add to
story. It was 40 degrees and the wind was blowing about 15. It was cold.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up.
And we tried to be prepared for that. We had hoodies on.
I had on a hoodie.
We forgot to put something under them thin breeches. That was a problem.
Well, and
Y'all
I don't
are
know what-
sissies.
I don't know what.
No,
but
we was cold.
we were cold. I was shivering. My little knees were knocking together.
Shivering in your boots.
Shivering in my boots because my boots, my normal turkey hunting boots, the bottom come out of them. And I ordered a pair. My wife ordered me a pair for my birthday, and they were supposed to be there. But guess what? We're in Illinois, and they still hadn't got there.
Thank you, Bass Pro Shop.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you, Bass Pro Shops, for that express shipping. Thank you, U.S. Post Office, for sending them to 4 different cities after they were got to Birmingham.
They went to 2 states.
Man, I don't know how in the world you get from Atlanta to Birmingham, and it's Crane Hill. You got to go north. No, we go to Alpine, Alabama. That's nearly 100 miles southeast. And they come back again. And then they go to Leeds, or no, was it Leeds or Bessemer? One of them went west of town. Then that's another day that it comes back. And I mean, I was already back home when they showed up.
Their 3-day express turned into like a week and a half.
Yeah.
Work days.
Lucky I got them right now.
Yeah.
So I mean, I went and bought me a pair of rubber boots, non-insulated. I mean, nice muck boots. I mean, they're very comfortable, but there's no insulation in them. My feet was getting a little chilly. I mean, I got my alpaca socks on, not the thickies, but they're kind of thin. But I'm cold.
Thankfully, we had.
I'm
them
wearing
muck
that
boots with
thin.
us.
Oh, yo, we had muck boots. I'm going to tell you right now, I think he'd have went and bought us some boots because I wouldn't have worked in it. There's no way you could work in it. It would have been over
Be
your
honest
ankles.
with you, our normal boots, it would have been over top of them.
I think so. And they'd have been filthy, nasty.
You would never got that out
Oh,
of there.
no.
Because I'm pretty sure my mucks are permanently stained from that mud. I tried to clean them one day this week, and they're still gray.
It's like concrete.
Yeah.
But it was. And I was wearing those thin, Nomad, stretch pants kind of stuff, real thin material, nylonish, and I was cold.
I had on them thin scent blocker pants.
So we finally decided we needed some warmth, and the Jakes had drifted on away.
Rain started in again, too.
Oh, yeah, the rain started down. And so back to the truck we go. But we run on.
We done a little riding that day.
Yeah, we rode around.
That's the day we made that big loop and come all the way back down whatever that first road William wanted us to go down and kind of figured out where we was at. We were starting to figure things out.
We really starting to have, I remember that road, this road.
We wasn't using.
The great thing is we were 15 minutes from every spot.
Yeah, and we wasn't using GPS for any of that.
No, we were just on X, looking at on X.
We left there and went up to the mountain that day.
Is that when we went around?
And we hunted. We walked that long ridge out all the way till 1 o'clock.
Was that where the Big Pines was? Is that what you're talking about? Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So, anyway, we go grab us some lunch. Had we already eaten at the good? Yeah, I guess we did that. We went back and got quesadillas, didn't we, that day?
We ate there Saturday night.
I lose track of the days.
And then Sunday, me and you went back for lunch. And Monday, they were closed. They were closed on Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah. So, anyway, we finish our lunch, go back to the room. Or no, did we go back? I think we got a call while we was eating. Well, I done forgot something. One day in there, we drove down the road where the guy told us the turkey was.
That's that day we went back. When we went over to work, we run down that road.
And there was one blowed up out in the field, out in the pasture. That wasn't an ag field. It was cow pasture.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, private land ain't nothing you can do. So, yeah, because it was the next day we were talking to the waitress.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, back out in the fields we go.
Second shift. My back hurt, my legs hurt, my shoulders hurt. I was sick of looking at post hole diggers. Didn't need nobody to rock us to sleep at night.
No, we worked and worked and worked. And I don't know, we ate.
His bones would say we worked like a barred mule.
Yes. I was rode hard and put up wet.
Literally.
So, but we got a plan for the next day. Because remember, I went back to the truck to grab water that morning. You went out and waited on me because we went a couple 100 yards from the truck. And on my way back, I found the roost tree.
Yep.
And we had made us a plan. I said, that's where the turkeys are. So if we get there early and get out there, and they're roosted and they're eastern, so that's a hit or miss proposition.
And with the weather, it was real stormy that night. So
and they were a long way. They've had to make big circle to come back around that. And of course, you don't hunt after 1 o'clock, so they got all day. That is a plus on that part. The birds are not molested or pushed off. Just get your mind out of the gutter. Just text Ben. Oh, Ben Gay.
Ben Gay.
So, anyway, we made this plan. We would get over there early, get out early.
Move by the cover.
Move, yes, like a jungle cat. And we did.
Yep.
We walked down the road, we hit the fire lane, and took about 3 steps. And that wasn't the wind talker.
No.
What was that? That's turkey. I think it was a hen, and she went towards the ag field.
Yeah.
We stood there and finally start walking again.
Times 2.
There are turkeys flying out of trees. They're roosted on this we're under them. And these flew the opposite direction. Really, it was worked out. In the hindsight now, it was great that we run them off.
Yeah.
And we get out to the curve of the road where you'd seen the turkeys.
2 more had flown.
Yeah. We done run a whole flock.
There
out
was
of there.
five, I think.
At least
hens
5.
we blew out of there.
And maybe that second bird, thinking about it, could have been roosted in there.
Could
with them.
have.
I just had never seen a turkey gobbler just fly right up amongst where the hens. They're usually a little ways off.
I wish the way they was on the right and left side of the fire break, I mean, that could have been a separation.
It really could have been. But we get out there and stop to where we had planned on stopping to wait and see if they were roosted in that tree. I wasn't even sure if he'd even all that racket going on that they wouldn't have flew off too. But wasn't long. Did you hoot or did he just gobble on his own?
I did hoot right there at that intersection.
And he fired off.
Yeah.
He fired off. And we knew right then he was in that tree.
Or right in that area anyway. Yeah. It was still
I said,
dark.
if he flies down, well, if we get over there to that tree, we should be able to see him. So I think we let him gobble one more time or something like that. But we moved fast because it was getting light, starting to get light.
Yeah.
Found that big oak tree wide open in there, right in where we was at. And I could see pretty good to my right. I don't think you could see to your right very good. You can see good straight out.
I had a little hole where I could see deep right, hard right, but that was it.
But that turkey was drumming in the tree, gobbling and drumming, and it just vibrates you. I mean, we weren't probably 70 yards, 65 yards.
I'm not sure we wasn't closer than that, to be honest with you.
I mean, all it was straight down. It's kind of weird the way that kind of made a little dog leg, but it wasn't really turning. So
no.
Anyway, I've never heard this before, but he would gobble and drum at the same time. Now, maybe some of y'all's heard that before. I've never heard it. I've heard drumming and the gobbling and drumming, but I've never heard in the middle of a gobble a drum. It almost made me think there was 2 turkeys.
Yeah.
I mean,
asked me, you said, you think there's another bird I heard?
I thought, one's gobbling, the other's drumming.
Mm-hmm.
And
should have been if it had been like it was the day before.
Yeah, the day before there would have been 2 of them. That's why I was thinking that in my mind. I'm thinking we might get done today. But I should knew the turkey gods were going to play games with me. But anyway, it wasn't long. That old hen, we'd heard her out in that field. Boy, she was yelping. And
we started pouring it back to her a little bit.
Yeah,
she was just
and we made the sound to make sure he knew, she knew, and we knew, and he knew that we were there.
And he gobbled.
Yes. And a few minutes later, I said, I see him. I didn't hear him fly. He must have just He must have just off the limb straight to the ground.
And there was rain dripping off the trees.
it was still real wet.
Yeah,
because that's from all that rain. I thought it rained on us on the way over there, I guess.
Yeah,
and I could see him out there for a little bit, but man, he gobbled and drummed. I mean, it was the most gobbling I'd heard all season.
Oh yeah,
and I was just thankful. I done got convinced myself. I hadn't heard a turkey drum in, 5 years. And I thought my hearing had got so bad I couldn't hear the drumming, which would really, if you'd have heard him drumming and said you hear it, and I said I couldn't, that would have killed me.
You could,
but I didn't even have to ask because I could hear it. And I mean, or you didn't have to say, "Did you hear it?" or whatever. And you could feel it go through your body. It's the weirdest. People that's never experienced it and experienced it up close. I really feel sorry people can't hear it, and I might not be able to hear it one day. But oh my God, it was. To me, it's better than gobbling.
It was wonderful.
And anyway, he started working his way from right to left, and he'd gobble, and I guess cluck a little bit. We did something anyway, and then he kept moving, and he was moving right our way. And I saw him boy there for a second, man. I said, I see him. I got the dot on him, but it was just a tiny hole. It wasn't long. I mean, he done all he had to do. He stepped, and it was non-shootable again. And I don't even think you said I got him. I think all I heard was an explosion next to me, and he was flopping. Well, he didn't really flop. They don't flop with TSS much. So Bird was down.
The little Mossberg, it reached out further than we thought.
Yeah, I mean, I think he was well pleased with it.
It was still kind of dark, and I didn't realize he was that far out, which, I mean, one of us was going to kill him either way. But
well, I do. After he passed where I could have shot him to my right, and you couldn't get over there or see that where he was. I could see that hole. You couldn't see that hole. That if you didn't get a shot off or you shot a tree like sometimes you've done in the past.
You had me backed up. I was watching your gun moving with mine.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he was going to step right out into an opening where I could have took a shot or lifted off the ground, and I know I could at least got one off at him if he took off. But
best thing is he kept moving right to left, and that's what we needed. So,
and it worked perfect. And bird down, you jumped up, running, got him. You're out there kind of admiring him, and I see you. You're walking back to us, but you ain't coming to us. I mean,
I'm telling you,
where is he going? What is he doing?
Our setup was fantastic. I could not see you standing there. I'm talking about I had to look 2 or 3 times, and if you wouldn't have waved your arm, I don't know if I'd have found you till I got.
And it's 6:30, about 6:30 in the morning.
6:15, we was taking pictures.
Was that what it was?
Yes, sir.
Okay, 6:30 we was walking out.
6:30 is at the truck, and then I come back in.
Yeah, you come out. I waited around over there, and we went on out. We didn't hear nothing else that morning because it was next day that one gobbled and we worked him. Yeah, because it was you killed a day, nothing got killed, and I killed on the next day.
But we worked a bird.
No, that's what I'm saying. The next day we worked a bird.
Yeah, Tuesday. Yeah,
Tuesday we go in same place. We just had to go there. We seen too much, heard too much, and we go over there and find. We'd heard a couple birds gobble, one way off you wouldn't get to, but this one gobbled off down the hill, back down toward the cemetery area of what we was talking about earlier. And we sat down. I thought we sat down in the right spot on top of the hill. I like to want to call them uphill. We just didn't realize it was so thick, really kind of between us. Because once again, we hadn't been in those woods.
We called a hen into us.
Well, hen, right on my shoulder. I about had a heart attack. But he was real tight lipped. He wouldn't gobble about once every 30 minutes or 40 minutes sometimes. And then we got him within 60 yards. He was in killing distance, but it was too thick.
Just couldn't see him.
And he drifted back down that hill. And that's when we decided you was going to sit up there and call, and I'd ease down in there because I think he gobbled again. He sounded like he was way back in there.
Going away from us.
So I eased off down in there, and I saw why he was there. I mean, it was absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
And, because the next day, of course, we was both down in there. But so anyway, we messed around there for most of the half day and went back.
That's when we took our 35-mile roundabout and was about out of gas.
No, it was that day.
Yeah, yep.
Is that when we ended up?
Way the heck over
there at the lake, that big lake.
And we was out of gas.
Out of gas, yeah.
No gas station in sight. We have figured out one thing about that area. You go ahead and you get about half tank.
Yeah,
just go ahead
and get some gas, yeah.
Especially if you're going to get out.
Or if you ain't got one can of dip or half a can of dip, you better get you a can of dip if you run by a store.
Yep.
And there's no vapes.
No.
I don't know. I think they're illegal to sell up there. I don't think nobody had them.
They had a few kinds, but they didn't have no like big vape shop nowhere.
I'm not sure how long we'll have vapes in Alabama to pass that law.
Yeah.
I talked to a boy today. I went over there stocking up.
I figured when you said you had to go to Coleman, that was the stop.
Actually, I went to Coleman and went to Harbor Freight and bought me a 4-pack of tiny locks.
I should have went there. I went to Walmart.
Yeah, they had them for $5.
Golly, I paid more than that a piece.
Now these are tiny. They're about that big, brass, but they're just perfect. They're going to just two on my box for my ammo and 2 on my box on my case for my gun. So I can't believe you didn't think of that.
Well, I did. So I looked up the ammo cans at Harbor Freight because I was just going to get another ammo can, but I wanted to make sure they had the little lock slide on them.
They do. I looked at them.
The metal cans don't.
No, the metal ones don't. That plastic one does.
I had a brand new metal can. I went and looked at it, and I was like, dang, that ain't got a lock on it. But I seen the plastic. Well, I knew I was going to go get those little Brinks locks at Walmart, and they had the cans for like $2 more in Harbor Freight, and I thought, I'm not going to 2 different places. I should have went to Harbor Freight first, and I'd have found everything I needed. But Grace needed a light bulb, so I need to go by there.
God, they don't sell light bulbs at Harbor Freight? Yeah,
this is them little old funky ones for them fans. They're all weird now.
They're set in the dark. So you don't need no light. So, all right, let's get out of that rabbit hole. That really wasn't a rabbit hole. It was just sidetrack.
Well, back to second shift.
Yeah, we go back.
That was a late second shift. That's the day they went and got boards.
Oh, yeah.
Me and you, we got like some real rest that day.
Man, that was a good sleep.
But, somewhere during all this, we went back over to where the boy told us with the old long box and struck one.
We left. Oh, that's right.
That was Monday.
Yeah, we come
After I
back
killed
through
my
there, and I
bird.
said, let's go top that hill over there. And we broke out that long box, that Crisso telephone pole box, and hit that thing. And boy, he fired off down there. And we set up on that for a while, and no luck.
Beautiful down in there.
Oh,
was
yeah.
that.
Oh, my God.
We really didn't hunt any spots. That
No,
wasn't pretty.
there was nowhere that we went that wasn't huntable. But we went on to work. But we planned we was going to go back again the next day, and hopefully we'd hear something else. I wasn't really thinking about that bird itself, but I did tell you I know where to go if he gobbles down that way.
Mm-hmm. And he didn't.
No.
The bird way across the field
Way
gobbled.
over there on that private land, way over.
The day before, or a couple
But
days.
didn't we walk out and right out there to the corner, and he finally gobbled?
Yeah, and I said, he's a long way down in
he's
there.
back off toward that, way past that cemetery.
But we decided the other bird had gobbled the day before, the one that we were headed out after. But once he hit the ground, he never gobbled again.
Yeah.
So when we were in that corner and heard that bird gobble, I said, hey, at least this bird gobbled yesterday. For a while, we worked him. That bird hit the ground and shut up. So us ease down here and try this one first for a minute anyway. That's what we did.
So we did, and holy crap, we set up on a good spot.
You had it. You knew where to go back to. That was a good spot.
We had the decoy. You put the decoy out in the perfect place. We called, and then we'd heard a gobbler too, but finally a hen answered.
Well, she got mad.
Well, she was hot.
She seen that decoy. She
Boy,
was
when
mad.
she come across, but there was a turkey behind her somewhere because he gobbled.
Oh, yeah.
And so I'm already sitting there, gun on my knee, safety off.
I seen that other bird run in that little gap, and I said, I hope that wasn't him. I just seen a bird cross the gap.
After I sit there in that direction for 10 minutes, it could have been an armadillo.
No, I'm talking about when the hen was coming to us, and I seen that one cut across. I thought that might be him. It was so far out, and some sticks to it. I couldn't see if it was a hen or what it was. I just knew it was a turkey. And I think it was probably him running her around a little bit right there, one of them other hens.
Well, the hen come up on the decoy, and boy, she's postured around that thing and carrying on, and she, got another hen fired up. And finally, you'd think I'd know every detail of this, but man, once you kind of zero in on,
I heard you tell me, you said, I see him.
I said, I see two.
I couldn't, and I seen that. I finally was in a gap. I said, I seen it.
Well, I said, I don't know if they're both gobblers. And then I figured the first one was a hen when they come out and hit that little fire break. And the other one had been in strut. He was about half strut. I said, that's a gobbler. And the hen was coming on up to the other hen, and he was right behind her. And it took a little bit, probably not a minute, but it seemed like 15 minutes.
It always seems like forever.
But I don't even think I said anything to you. I just got tied on the gun, and
I seen the barrel moving on your knee. I knew you were tracking.
I had the dot on him. I was just waiting on him to get in range. And when he got in range and wasn't in strut, after 6 long days, I wasn't going to. I like to see a show. I like to hold them even more. So I shot, and turkeys flew everywhere. They were going on. Okay, you go, what happened?
I said, did you miss that bird? And you said, no, he's laying there, and I couldn't see.
Yeah,
between the vegetation, the little hump.
No, I said, I didn't miss that bird. He's dead. He's laying right there.
I jumped up with you like I shot
I'm
him.
going down there, and you said, I'm going with you. And run down there, and he was pretty much dead. And my gun was shooting a little low. I've rectified that this week, though. But,
as we were walking down there, though, another bird gobbled, and I hit that fighting bird.
Yeah.
And they started hammering.
He was hammering. He was coming.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to just stop.
When we got your bird
tempting.
and started walking back up, I cut to him. He couldn't handle it, man. He was fired up.
If you hadn't killed a bird, we could have sat right back down and called that in and killed it. I mean, I feel like it. He was coming, and there was still that other one.
Yeah.
So we left gobbling birds.
At least 3.
3 gobbling birds. 5
jakes.
seed, going to be 2-year-olds next year. And this was their last. There wasn't but one more day left in the season when we left.
Yeah, it went out Thursday.
So that was Wednesday, and we came on in. Well, actually, I mean, we didn't. Well, we went by and had some pictures made with William and them. Then went back to the hotel because it was so early. We thought we weren't going to get back in time, and went ahead and went back where we could change. I cleaned that bird, changed her clothes, William and them had decided they were going to go eat breakfast.
I had mentioned breakfast. I think it got on their minds.
So they passed by and blew the horn and called you. I told you they were going to eat. They ordered us our breakfast because we weren't going to get there till right at, I guess 11-ish. Well, that was fine. That was one of the finest fried bologna sandwiches I ever eat.
Yep.
2 eggs, over medium, man.
Hash browns.
Hash brown. I wish I got them cheese grits, though, man. That looked
Boy,
good.
them look good.
I mean, the hash browns were okay. Don't get me wrong, but the cheese grits would have been real good. But like always, seems like for me, it happened in Texas. Last minute of the last day. This wasn't the last minute of the day, but it was the last day.
We were back.
We actually were going to leave the day before.
We were back to truck at 7:18 that morning.
Yeah, we was back early.
And it was raining like crazy. And
Man, we got back just as the bottom fell out.
Mm-hmm. But we don't mind. We didn't mind hunting in the rain. We did it. We,
Ain't no oochie coochie.
Nope.
Just play your game over there. So, anyway, it was we got everything done, ate lunch, headed toward the house, but we had to make one more stop right by the ice cream place.
Banana pudding ice cream. We'd heard so much about it.
They'd been out all week, but guess what? They had it.
2 scoops and a trip to the house.
Such a sweet little Amish girl. She's a talker. I bought those little chocolate-covered cherries, and we was in the truck. In 5 hours, we was home.
Yep.
Or at your home. 6 hours, I was home. So now all it is getting all the packing done, and Saturday morning we gone.
I made a trip to
This
Tennessee.
podcast, we will have just got back.
Yep.
We will have just got back from Canada. I just pray we get into Canada. I'm so nervous something's going to be wrong, and I hope I'm nervous for no reasons, and we just smooth on down. I go, God, I don't know why we thought that was going to be so tough.
I hope if nothing else, they'll work with us like the Illinois game.
They won't. I can promise you right now.
Like I'm hoping if we missed a form, they'll let us print one off there and do it.
I doubt it.
Charlie says we're panicking for nothing.
Well,
So,
Charlie didn't get the treatment I got up there twice.
I should walk across the border and let you drive through and see if I can go through easier.
I'll come through with 3 guns.
No, I'll carry mine across the border.
You better hope they don't confiscate them because they don't have to give them back. So that's why I don't want to carry them.
Don't make me call Trump.
Y'all mess with us, and
I'll have Veterans Affairs.
y'all
up
be
there.
the 52nd state because we'll take Greenland first. So, but yeah, when this podcast airs, we'll have just got back. I hope a successful trip from Ontario. And I will just tell you, if y'all want to look it up, it's going to be close to a little town named Tweedy. Or Tweed. I want to say Tweedy Bird.
In Ontario.
In Ontario. I mean, it's not in that town, but that's the closest town. Looks like Midwest to me. I mean, all
of
ag
ag
and
fields.
ag fields.
I guess a lot of them's alfalfa fields.
I don't know. We'll find out.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, we've rambled on. That was a good story. Happy ending
Yeah.
for you and me.
Yep.
What about you, Grace? What do you think about all this?
I don't know.
You want to say hi to Ben? Say, hey, Ben.
Maybe next year you'll have your own story. You can come on here.
Yeah,
and
if
tell.
you go hunt with us and you kill one, you'd have your own story.
Yeah, I'll go to California with y'all.
We're going to go to California.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
No, you can't do that. It's too much school you'd miss.
When we do that, we're
I
gonna
don't
have to
care
do
about
that.
school. I'll go.
I don't care about school.
No.
She does. She ain't gonna miss no days. She ain't taking no semester
But-
test.
Listen, if I start getting into turkey hunting, I can just take off school and go virtual. And then I can just use my dad as my teacher.
Oh,
No, we're not
Boy,
doing all that
yeah.
stuff. No. You
we
just
don't have
stay
time
home.
to stop and get postcards.
You done burnt your bridges now. By not going this spring. I done told everybody.
We had it. We mentioned that on the podcast.
Well, on the podcast.
It was going to happen.
It was going to
What?
happen. You were going youth hunting with
We
us
had a
this
youth
year.
hunter this year.
Oh.
I'm going to have one next year.
We are.
I got Jackson. Jackson says he's going to hunt with me next year.
That'd be fine. I'll go and film him.
Yeah. Grace, you just out.
It's okay.
Well, you got anything else?
No,
I
if
can't think
if
of
you're still
anything.
getting to hunt,
Hey.
be safe out there, and hopefully you tag
Yeah.
a few more.
Get all you can. I think this will wrap us up. I don't foresee anything else.
Now, if we was to tag out early,
And head home, maybe Tennessee.
yeah, I was up there Tuesday.
Yeah, didn't look promising. We done already been up there after the 20th, and it's
It's
pretty
tough.
tough. There is Michigan.
Yeah,
Nah, if we was to tag out on Tuesday, it could be something.
I have to make a phone call or two.
Yeah. All right. I guess we're going to get out of here. What do you think? Come on,
Yep.
Gray.
I
You
got
ready to go?
Yep, I got school tomorrow. I'm tired.
I got work tomorrow, and I get up at 5 in the morning.
And
What time you
volleyball
get up?
tryouts.
Yeah. And then I think I'm going to get my toes done.
Mm.
I'm going to the beach Tuesday.
With Ben?
No.
No.
What do you mean, no, boy? You spoke up quick then. You see that, Grace? I kid him all the time.
She's
about
going
that.
with my niece.
Okay. Oh, so you'll be safe.
Yeah, maybe.
All right. All right. You ready to go?
Yep.
All right. We're going to get out of here. I guess we'll see y'all in a week. So take care of your trees. That's where the turkeys sleep.